And if you are still listening, this is the part 2. This is my political one. So I heard that Caitlyn, or I'm gonna call it a spade. Call it a spade. Bruce Jenner is running for governor in Cali. If you Republicans in Cali vote him in, you're what's wrong with our party. Why are we voting the same type of mentally ill person in office when we crack jokes at Biden's pick of health as the health advisor, Rachel, but I'm gonna call a spade, Richard. We were cracking jokes saying, "Oh hell no, why did he pick him?" It's confusing. Honestly, it's because if they don't know whether they're a boy or girl or a man or a woman, then it's because you're confusing me and society. But another thing, I'm gonna say this one time and one time only. I don't agree with the transgender agenda or transgenderism or whatever. And don't go under the comments saying, "Oh, you're transphobic." No, I have freedom of speech and I can say whatever I want to say. And if I don't agree with you, it doesn't mean I'm transphobic. Pause. We're gonna, don't call me transphobic or anything. Just because I don't agree with that agenda. I was okay. Look, I'll be honest. I was okay with lesbians. I was okay with bi people. I was okay with gay people. But transgender is where I draw the line, because they are getting surgeries, and then they want the same rights as everyone else. But you got surgery, and you're changing your body and your genetic profile to try to be something that you're not. And now, honestly, I believe if I was in medical field, if you're a it person, then you should be marked as someone who has an underlying condition. And honestly, before you even get the surgery, you should get therapy to make sure this is what you really want. But in my opinion, if I was ever to run office, the first thing I would do is to cancel or to ban that surgery. People should be getting mental health, because the left and people always like to say, "Oh, mental health." But when it comes to transgenderness, y'all don't like to say that. You just like, "Oh, good, the person get the surgery." No, because then that same person, if they are low income, don't have a lot of money, can't afford their own health insurance, and they end up getting the surgery, and now they want free healthcare with everyone else. No, that's not right, because now my taxpayer dollars is paying for their surgeries. I think the hell not. Like, we already sending our money all the way across the world to countries that don't give a about us, America. So why are we sending our money out to these mentally ill people? Like, they're mentally ill. I don't care what anyone says. They're mentally ill. They need help. They should go under tons and tons of therapy before they get to surgery. And honestly, if you're a doctor and you're administering these surgeries, I think you should be banned and barred. You should not be able to practice medicine anymore, because you're allowing this mentally ill person to get the surgery. And then on top of that, people later on, after they get the surgery, they regret it. They end up regretting. They're like, "Oh, I wish I never did that." So now you cause this person a long line of health problems, because then then they have to try to get the surgery reversed, and sometimes it's not reversible, because if you're a man and you're trying to become a woman, you cut your penis off. It's nothing to fix there. You're screwed. You can't produce kids anymore. It's just crazy, and you can't. It's not changeable. And if you're a woman and you're taking all these estrogen pills and testosterone pills, or whatever you want to call it, and then later on you're like, "Oh, I don't want this surgery anymore." Now your fertility is low, you can't have a kid. So the surgery should be banned. And honestly, it's just another form of, population control, in my opinion. But calling conspiracy theorists, but in my opinion, I just think that it's a way of population control. And honestly, I feel the lack of a nuclear family unit is what's wrong with these transgender people. The reason why, we're born is through a man and a woman, conjoining and having us. And if a man and a woman isn't there raising us properly, teaching us morals and values as a unit, this is what's wrong. Because then this kid doesn't know, especially, like, for example, it's a lack of fatherness here in the black community. I mean, I don't see a lot of transgender people in the black community, but it's two famous ones, but and they wanted to be women, but they're men. They'll never be a woman. They can't have kids, but the lack of fatherness here in the black community. This is why a lot of men are emotional, and they're abusive in relationships. They end up gay. They are so feminine so much that women, us black women, we don't really want to procreate with them. And that's nothing what's wrong with our community. But back to transgenderness, those people need therapy. They need a mom and a dad in their lives, because if they don't have a mom and dad in their lives, this is the road it goes to. And also, they need to stay off social media, stay off social media, and they need to fix our education system, because honestly, the education system, the lack of parenting, and the lack of just morals is what's wrong with them. And I mean, them not having a good father and a good mother in their life, showing them the ropes and showing what they should and shouldn't do, is what's wrong. But Republicans, because Republicans and conservatives, if you're a true Republican and you're a true conservative and you vote for Caitlyn, or I'm gonna call him, what he is, Bruce Jenner, you're what's wrong with our party and the GOP. The reason why we keep losing elections is because y'all want to keep playing the same game we love to do, and we can't do that. Because the thing is, one, Bruce is not qualified to be governor of anything, because he's not qualified to even run his own life. He doesn't know if he's a man or a woman. He doesn't even know that he's actually a truthful man. And you guys want to, and it's not nothing about me not liking transgender people. It's just, honestly, they're not transgender people. They're just mentally ill people who are confused. They're confused. I'm just gonna call it. They're confused. But don't vote for Bruce Jenner. I'd rather have Gavin Newsom back in office than to deal with it. He's mentally ill. He's confused. He's not qualified. Just because you say you're a hardcore Republican and you've been a hardcore Republican all your life doesn't mean anything. What have you done? He's taken a photo. He had a photo op with Hillary. He used to kick it back with Hillary back in the day, and he's just not qualified. And this was wrong. We're not. I mean, are we that desperate? Are we that desperate that we're willing to play the left's game and elect someone who's not qualified just because we want Gavin Newsom out? In my opinion, I'd rather have Gavin Newsom, and then just people, just push back. Say what you want. Tell them, we don't like your policies. And honestly, he will change if he doesn't want to get impeached or get recalled again, or if he wants to stay elected. Because the thing is, we gotta do better. And honestly, we can't keep going this fight anymore. We have to do better. We have to elect qualified people in office, or us Republicans, we're gonna keep losing. We are and we lost one election and we got scared. We gotta get our crap together, and just honestly, we're not that desperate to elect someone who's mentally ill, who doesn't have proper qualifications.